Okay, here is the select practice problem video. We're just doing one because there's not too many problems on the homework, so we're doing the longer one that kind of needs a little bit of unpacking. So let's read and see what happens here. So we've got, it says Marcia is a botanist, so somebody who works with plants, researching the effects of changing temperatures on plant growth. In one greenhouse, the temperature changes over the course of the day. At midnight each day, the temperature of the greenhouse is set to 24 degrees Celsius. The temperature increases to 32 degrees Celsius by noon, after which the temperature decreases back to 24 degrees Celsius by midnight before the process repeats itself again. So some information that we're going to assume here is we're going to assume that that the temperature increases and decreases steadily. All right, so that's kind of important, and you'll see why in a minute. So it says the temperature in the greenhouse, so letter A, is a function of time after midnight on the starting day. Make a table of temperatures at various times. So the starting day is right here, so 0 hours after midnight. So this is our x, right? And this is going to be hours after midnight, right? So that's our time, right? And then this is our temperature, right? In degrees Celsius. So at 0 hours after midnight, so in other words, at midnight when we start, it says it's set to 24 degrees, right? So it's at 24. And then I don't know it at 6 hours at 6 a.m., right? But I do know it at noon because it says the temperature increases to 32 degrees Celsius by noon. So 32 degrees Celsius, we'll put it right here, right? So we got 24 and we got 32. Well, if we know that this is an increase and decreasing steadily thing, and it looks like we're going from 24 to 32, that's an increase of 8, right? From 24 to 32 is an increase of 8 degrees, so it's going up 8 degrees. So if we're going to see what this is at 6 hours instead of 12, it should naturally be half of that. So that would be 4, which means we'll put this at 28 degrees. So 6 hours after, when it's starting to come down, it should be back at 28 degrees, and it goes down to 24 degrees. This is midnight the next day, right? 24 hours, right? So that's your that's probably going to be our period. And then 6 hours in, it's starting to come back up again, and then 12 hours into the second day, so at 36 hours, that's going to put us back up at 32 degrees. And so let's graph this now, right? So we're starting at 0 and 24. So 0 and 24 is going to put us about right here, right? At 6 hours, that puts us at 28. So it puts us a little lower, about right here. 32 degrees at 12 hours. So we're going a little higher here. And then we are going to come back down to 28. And then we'll go to 24 degrees at midnight the next day. And then we basically kind of repeat the same thing, right? So there and there. All right, we did not do 42 hours, but we could kind of assume it's going to be here if it's periodic, right? So our graph is going to look like this. It's steady, so it's going to make straight lines. I'm going to try this feature here. So I'll go right here, make a straight line there. Go here, we're going to make a straight line here. And go here, and we'll make a straight line going that way. All right, so there's our straight line graph. Okay, so it says identify the period, peak, trough, amplitude, and midline of the graph in part B. All right, so the peak is always your highest point, right? So these points right here, right? This point right here is going to be our peak. All right, and so we will say peak is 32 degrees. All right, that's our y, right? Our y, our height is going to be our temperature, right? And now for your trough, that's going to be your lowest point. So that is going to be right here. This would be my trough. All right, so I would write trough. That's your lowest point is 24 degrees. And that's always at midnight, right? Your midline is going to be the one that runs through the middle of it, right? And that's, if you remember what we were doing, that's kind of at 28, right? So that's going to be right here. So we're going to go, right? And that's going to be our midline, right? So we'll go here, make this yellow. So this is our midline, right? So midline, right, is at 28 degrees, meaning our amplitude, and I know I did the midline first, but our amplitude is going to be this distance here, right, from the peak to the midline, or you could think of it going this total distance, right, was 8, and then half of that, so divide that by 2, which equals 4. So our, let me put this on the skinny, right, our amplitude, and I'm going to show the calculation here. I'm going to say a total of 8 degrees divided by 2, which is 4, right? Our amplitude is 4. So there you go. Those are all the features you need. Organized clearly. I got them all over here on the side, and hopefully you can you can see this, and this helps you. Okay, so have fun with these, and don't overthink them. Just like I said, I think a lot of this stuff is just kind of common sense. So just try to use your common sense and just go with it. All right, have fun. Have fun.